rich and famous. Yay. On YouTube.
Hey, welcome back. You're watching the Short Vol Show live, coming to you direct from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, home of the Pilgrims. And I'm coming on a little bit later this morning. But we had a great day yesterday trading VXX. And what it was a put spread, which I put on VXX. Let's go to the chart and take a look at it here. Let me get out of the way. And we'll see what we will see. All right, so here's a chart right now, and we shall, that's UVIX right there. But if we pull up VXX and we look at, this is the daily chart, you can see that it has popped in the last couple of days, and this obviously due to down moves and put buyers in the SPX. We know that the VIX is based on a combination of sampling different option prices in the SPX. But in general terms, if you were to look at the average volatility of the SPX 30 days out, that would be the same number as the VIX. So for example, if we were to do that right now, just to illustrate that, here I pull up the SPX options, I go to about 30 days out, and I look across, and it is showing, let's see what it's showing. It's showing a 24.5 right now. So let's take a look at the VIX. Now remember, VXX is based on VIX futures, not the actual VIX. But if we do look at the VIX, we see 24.8. So surprise, surprise, it really is based on that. Now the 0.8 is slightly different than the 0.4. That's due to the fact that it's specific options that are sampled. And when we talk about the formula for the VIX, it's almost kind of like the formula for the FICO score in that I think it's slightly proprietary, and so we don't know the exact formula. We just know what it's based on and what it's around, which is kind of like your FICO score. The FICO company, the company that runs FICO, has the formula, which is proprietary information to them. But stuff spiked yesterday. The VIX term structure was basically inverted and in backwardation. And I decided with VXX around 57 to, or 56, 57 to I think 56 to buy the May 55.50 put spread. So I think we can go back into my trades from yesterday. So here's trades from today, but if we go back, we can switch. We can go back more than one day, go back 2 days, and we can see my trades from yesterday. I kind of like to do this sometimes just to kind of prove to you what I did, because people say all kind of things in the trading world, and it's not always true. But here, if you were to slow things down, you can see me buying this put spread, the May 55.50 put spread, paying. Here's a 10 lot, I'm paying 302. Here's a 9, paying 304. It's an average of, I think, 303. Here's a 1 lot, 303, 2 lot, 303, 1 lot, 303. So 303, 304, around there. Then you can see me at the end of the day here selling that same put spread at 345, right? So that's 40 cents times 24. And also you can see me covering my UVIX spread that I was short here for, I think, a $17 loss. But regardless, nice big winning day yesterday. And essentially, if we look at the chart for yesterday in VXX, you can see I bought it. I got short VXX here by buying put spreads, and I covered it down here. So VXX dropped from 56 down to 51. It was around 51.20 when I sold the spread back out. And it's difficult to trade this because there's not a lot of options liquidity in these options. It's unfortunate. Let me pull my smiling face back up and just to talk to you again here for a second. There's not a lot of liquidity in VXX. It's less than, this is the first time I traded in a little while, and it's less than it used to be even. If we go out here to the, I'm sorry, I might have said March. It was the May options. If we go out here to May and we pull up volume, you can see a lot of these strikes have had no volume today. Okay, the 50 put has had 439, but if you look at these open interest numbers, many of them are less than 100 contracts. And compare this to Tesla. Look at Tesla. Okay, Tesla. Let's go to Tesla May. Now May is a few months out. I get it, but look at these open interests in Tesla May. 7,000, 19,000, 5,000, 9,000. There's just a lot more liquidity. Now, less liquidity doesn't mean that you can't make money. In fact, you can often make money in less liquidity situations because there's less efficiency there, right? There's less people paying attention. There's less people trading it. And if you can execute, which is a big if you can execute, you can make money. But for me, what that meant yesterday was a lot of testing the water. See, can I buy a one lot here? Where is the actual market? Because if we go to that spread, we can do it right now, VXX. If we go to that spread, okay, the market on the 55 put is 830 bid at 895, which isn't terrible, but it's still, 65 cents wide. The 50 put, okay, it's still 50 cents wide, right? And so when you've got stuff that's like a total of, a buck in between this and the spread, it's hard to see where you can get stuff done. If we try to buy the spread here right now, so I clicked on the offer of the 55 puts. I'm clicking on the bid of the 50 puts as I hold down control. Okay, so the midpoint is 328. The offer is 395. The bid's 327. So the market on this, the market that's being disseminated to the world right now is 320 bid at 395, right? So that's a big market. Now it's at 390, but let's say that's 70 cents wide. So where you actually get filled on the spread, somewhere in between those 70 cents of width, is going to be crucial to your ability to actually be profitable or not. And this was the second day that I traded this. And the first day, when I actually initiated the trade, I bought the spread paying $3.13 and I sold it out at $3.15. And right after I paid $3.13 for the spread, the midpoint became $3. So, immediately I had a loss on my sheet, so to speak. Now, it's not, it's a paper loss, but still a loss. And so it's a little tricky. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll give you an okay fill when you get in, but when you try to get actually out of your trade, they're going to, no one wants to trade with you. And it can be very frustrating. Yesterday, the midpoint of the trade, when I was trying to get out of it, VXX was 52 even, and the midpoint of the trade was $3.55. Now, there's no way anyone was going to pay $3.55 for that spread right there. I offered it there. I offered it at $3.50, 5 cents below the midpoint, still not getting filled. So these are the things you're going to have to deal with. It was a great green day yesterday, and I made money on the trade, but I was having to deal with trying to figure out where the actual market was and where the actual liquidity was and what was actually going on. And that's something that you may have to deal with as well. Let's move on. So today, if we pull up natural gas, we can see that natural gas is making new recent lows. This is, I believe, a 20-day chart, and you can see came down from 3 to now it's 239. Making new lows, and conversely, KOLD making new highs, right? Up to 60. It got up to 61 and change. I did put a position on here buying puts. It got up to 61.82. I did buy some puts. So if we look at the position now, I bought the August 15 puts, paying an average price of $15 and I think 30 cents. And this is even more so than VXX. This is not a liquid trading situation. Look, the only trades that happened in the whole of August, on the put side at least, were an 8 lot of these 50 puts, most of which was me, a 1 lot of the 49 puts, and a 2 lot of the 35 puts, and a 10 lot of the 25 puts. So that's all that's traded the whole day in this one, right? So there's nothing. It's very hard to establish where you can trade this stuff. And so the way I go about it is when I wanted to buy these 15 puts, 50 puts. Here's the market right now, 530 at 590, but I'm very skittish. I came in, because sometimes you'll come in, right? Market's 530, 590. I'm kind of in the way of that market. You can just barely see it. Let me move myself over just slightly here. Market's 530, 590. You could come in and bid 540 and get filled right away, because there's an inside market, and this is all run by computers, right? So there's an inside market and you don't know what it is. So I'm very kind of skittish. I try to follow this stuff day after day and kind of know what I'm willing to pay for it. But that's for you, that's going to take some research, some practice, and following. If you want to trade a product, I would follow it for a few days and kind of watch it and see what happens. But the market for this was similar with the KOLD trading exactly where it is now. A couple hours ago, the market was like 1440 bid at 1560 or something like that, right? So this stuff moves all over the place. So I would test the waters. If I wanted to buy these puts right now, I would put a 1540 bid in. You might get filled right away. You might go 1540 bid, even though the market is 1530 bid at 1590. You might put a 1540 bid and get filled right away. You never know with this stuff, and it's sketchy and weird. But sketchy and weird situations can be opportunities to make money. This is a hard to borrow issue. I don't think you can find stock to short on this. I call it stock, even though I do know it's an ETF. But I just call it stock for shorthand. I don't know if there's stuff to borrow. Now all of a sudden that 1530 bid went away. Now it's 1520 bid. What I've done is I've bought a total. Let me take a look and see if you can see the very bottom of my screen here. I'm not 100% sure that you can see the very bottom of my screen. Let's see. Here we go. You can if I get out of the way. Okay, so I bought a total of 6 of these August 50 puts. And as I bought them, this thing was continuing to move higher. I got a little skittish, and I sold something against them. I ended up selling some of these puts 2 weeks out, the same level, 50 puts, and I sold them at an average price of, I think, $260 probably, maybe $265. I don't know. We can look. Let's see. View trades, average price $262. All right, so I sold them at an average price of $262. KOLD was a little bit higher, so now they're $285 bid. Now these have 2 weeks to go. So I'm long 6 of the August 50s, and I sold 4 of the second week 50. So if we roll back down to 50 again, it'll be a winner. In the meantime, we're collecting decay. We're collecting $50 a day. Now, optimally, what I did last time was I just bought a bunch of puts and waited for this to move lower. I'm not as confident as I was last time that this is actually going to move lower from here anytime soon, but I don't mind collecting $50 a day in decay. It's not a super risky position that we have on here. If we go to the Analyze tab, we can see that, I mean, we would lose money if this spiked higher, but the thing is that we've got time, right? We've got almost half a year until these options expire, and so I'm not that concerned. If it does spike, if natural gas does move lower and this spikes higher, we've got time for it to come back. And natural gas does have some kind of floor underneath it at some point, right? It's not going to go to 0. It's probably not going to go below 1. The lowest it's ever been is 144. The recent low is 190. So I feel like the upside on this is kind of capped. We can only lose what we paid for the puts, which is a good thing as well. Also, if this moves higher, volatility is gonna expand. So I feel relatively comfortable with the trade. Now, we even with things like they are here, we would ultimately start to lose money if natural gas spiked too high. But in the meantime, we would make money on the way down until we got to like it's showing here 38. So I feel comfortable with the position as is. I'm leaning short. My expectation is that this is going to creep lower cold over the next couple of weeks, and that is the position I have on, and the position will work if that's what does indeed occur. I'm watching VXX as it does move higher today. It did get all the way up to almost 55. Now it's 53.78. Looking to repeat the same position as before. I did briefly put a position on Tesla. I bought one call. It started to go against me. I sold another call against it for a small loser. I think I lost $50 on that trade. There's false starts. You start to do something, it doesn't work, you get out. I don't want to give back the money I made yesterday, so I'm being careful. I have given back $50 in Tesla today, and I'm up 40 in cold. Oh, the other thing is FRC. I know some of you guys are probably trading FRC, First Republic Bank. I bought a two lot of these 5 puts. I paid 30 cents. Now they're 40-cent bid. So I have a lot of these puts in my pocket if FRC does continue to go to zero. My plan on these is to sell something fatter against them. So 5 puts paid 30 cents. If this rolls down to like 20 or 19 or something like that, I would look to sell maybe the 10 puts against them. So I'd have a little risk, but it would be for good prices. But in the moment, I own 2 of these 5 puts, and they're up 10 cents so far. So woohoo, zippity doo dah. But this First Republic, just a crazy one. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but all over the place. Let's look at the 5-day. So it got all the way down to 17, went all the way back up to like 40 something. Tuesday was back down, then got down to like 18 or 19 yesterday and went all the way back almost to 40 again. So that was a huge up move that somebody made money on. I'm thinking that there's a lot of blood in the water. A lot of people I'm suspecting bought this one maybe yesterday on the way up, and now they've gotten hammered again as it went back down. But we'll see what happens. I am looking to sell some fat puts. I'm kind of biding my time to sell some fat put in the next, probably early next week against this. But in the meantime, these dinky puts that I bought for 30 cents are making money for a second. I mean, I could just come in Monday. If they're 50-cent bid, I might just sell them out and take my small win. So that's kind of where we are right now. I appreciate you checking me out. It's been I think I've had 4 days in a row as a winner, so that feels good. There is certainly opportunity in this market, so pick your points, be careful, manage your risk, and hopefully you'll make a little money. Things have been going okay from this end. Appreciate everyone checking me out. Sorry I came out a little late today, but have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.
You're watching famous.